Hello, my captivating Capricorns. It's Cosima from Cosima Tarot, and today I've done your tea leaf reading. So I hope that you've all been well, and let's get started. I prepared the tea and I recognized a symbol at the bottom of the cup, which I will insert here so that you can see along. And what I recognized this image to be was a crescent moon. Now, crescent moons can indicate a fresh start, especially after a period of confusion. They can also be symbolic of intuition, fertility, and a reminder that everything moves through phases in life. It could also be indicative that something is developing behind the scenes, or even that you should be aware of your dreams because you may have some premonitions in the near future. Okay, so Capricorn, I went ahead and then enjoyed the tea, thinking of you all and thinking and hoping for positive images to come through. And I saw the following images. The first image I saw was this whale here. It looks like he's just floating along in the ocean. He's quite large. And then here's one of his fins, and here's the head, and then the tail. So this I recognize as a whale. Whales represent that you may be navigating powerful emotions or subconscious insights. So it could also indicate, Capricorn, that maybe you're healing from something profound. They can also be symbolic of old souls. So maybe you're tapping into some inner wisdom, or maybe you'll be speaking to someone who you look up to who is a little bit older and wiser at this time. They also are indicative of quiet confidence, and they also symbolize communication. So perhaps honest expression about how you're feeling is necessary at this time if it's in regards to a confusing matter that you're trying to figure out what's going on or navigate. Honest communication is always good. It could also mean that you will be hearing the truth about something. So, and lastly, the whales can represent some soul searching, or perhaps you are going to find a calling, so to speak, whether it's work or some, volunteer position, even some charity type efforts, some kind of a calling that you're tapping into. Now, the next symbol I saw was of this tiny little fish. So we have an aquatic theme going on here. It's a little fish, almost looks like a little goldfish. So here's the front of its face, and then the fins and the tail. So we had the whale over here in the opposite direction swimming, and here's the tiny little fish. Now, fish represent good luck. So this could be for finances, a relationship. It could also be even for fertility. So for those women who are watching, trying to start a family, or even men who are pursuing a family, trying for, pregnancy and starting to have children, this is a positive sign and omen for that. Now, fish can also mean something promising or a modest beginning that will grow into something bigger. So whether it's a project at work or just the beginning stage of a relationship, there's some promise to it. And the next image that I recognized was just under the fish, and it was the head of a duck. So here is the head, and here is the beak of the duck, and then his little neck here. But we don't see the full body. We see mainly the head and the beak and its little neck. And I imagine this to be a white duck with, an orangey type beak. Now, ducks represent clarity on what was once confusing. So it's interesting that in the beginning of the reading we had the crescent moon, which does speak to some confusion. The moon, it represents things hidden behind the scenes, uncertainty, confusion. So I thought it was very interesting that later in the future coming up, you have the duck, which is clarity on something which was once confusing. So it is also a reminder to keep calm. So if something tries to ruffle your feathers in the coming weeks, Capricorn, be like a duck, where the water will roll off a duck's back. A duck can also symbolize a decision that you will make or has to be made. So be observant like the duck. And ducks also represent thoughts over action and planning. So before you decide anything, really think it all over, mull it over, speak to someone perhaps a little bit wiser on the subject, if you know anyone like that who has your best interest at heart, and they will help you make your final decision on that. And lastly, the symbol I recognized was a ladder. So the ladder here is one of the steps, and here's another step, and hidden underneath these leaves is some more steps, but you see the ladder is not exactly aligned. Here's the top of the ladder, and with the rail on this one side here, the other rail here, and here's a step of the ladder, another step, and it's almost like the second half of the ladder is a little bit to the side here. And then there's a step over here and maybe a step over here. So this ladder, although is in one unit, is not exactly aligned. So what do ladders represent? Ladders represent growth, a climb towards something higher. So the fact that it's a little bit misaligned could mean that there's either kind of an obstacle or an interruption in your goal. So something you thought would be straightforward. As usual in life, there's always obstacles that pop up, but nevertheless, it is a reminder that you're making progress, even though it may feel like something is uneven, maybe something feels a little bit off, or perhaps your support system you feel is a little bit shaky. The support system is there. It may just be how you're feeling. And the message is generally be cautious. Of course, always we have to be cautious, but keep going. Because as I mentioned, ladders represent that you are making progress. So Capricorn, in general, I think it's a great reading. There may be a little bit of confusion at the beginning of the next, coming weeks, or at the moment you have some confusion on some topic or some aspect of your life. But we will definitely see clarity coming up with the duck head. You have someone perhaps older, wiser to lean on. It also speaks that you are navigating some emotions here. You may have to tap into your inner wisdom if you don't have that older person that you can discuss things with. And the symbol of the little goldfish is a good omen of good luck towards finances, as mentioned, and you are making progress with the ladder. So Capricorn, whatever you're doing, keep at it. As usual, you guys are very productive, very accomplished, and very hardworking, so I have no doubts everything will be fine. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please like and subscribe to my channel so that you will be the first to know when I come out with a video. Comment below if it resonated or however you feel the video was, whether it pertains to your life, and if you found it interesting. I love to read comments. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.